are my sunny side up. Why am I doing it early? Why? You know what you're doing.
So don't think you're going, you're not going anywhere. You're staying and taking your share. And if you get afraid again, I'll be there.
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunny Side Up Gal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Hello, welcome. Hi, how are you? If you are new here, hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome. If you are new, um, consider giving me a subscribe and go ahead and like this video because I already know you're gonna like the video. You're gonna like it. I think so. And if you're not new, hi, hello, how are you? Hi. Thank you so much for coming back and watching my shenaniganery. Today we are going to explore the subreddit Fatlogic once again because it was super fun. We're gonna go through all the memes from recent days, recent memes, recent photos, I guess, that they have in there in the sub, and we're just gonna talk a little trash, have a little fun, and giggle, have a little giggle together because we are pals. This is going to be another post in Ghost. Let me just get comfortable here, which means not a lot of edits because mommy wants to make sure that I can feed you for the weekend. I want to make sure that I can post this right away so that y'all have something to listen to while you're doing chores, while you are cleaning the dishes, while you're cleaning your bathroom and your toilet. I would love for you to have me in your ears while you're cleaning the pooper, okay? Me dream of that. I love that. So clean your house and listen to me while you do it. And if you don't need to clean your house, then, put me on while you're driving. Pay attention to the road. But, let's have a little bit of fun while we do that. Let me just set this up really quick because, again, not a lot of editing. So I'm on the subreddit Fatlogic. Should I say subreddit? Mommy don't know. Mommy's just having fun. Also changed the camera angle so that you guys can see my super jacked chin. She is slaying. Um she's, what do the kids say now? Mogging? I'm not. Okay. We're doing Fat Logic. Let's go ahead and open this up. So I set it to new, so it's going to be all recent posts. So if you've been checking it recently, you might just run into some things that you've already seen. But I'm just going to do some scrolls, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. If you've never heard of the Fat Logic sub on Shreddit, it is a gas. I like it. It's just a bunch of people who post or like they repost a bunch of what they would call fat logic in the universe. It's fat acceptance baloney that they find out in the interwebs, and then they put it on Shreddit to talk trash about. And I think it's funny as hell. Let me stretch this out for y'all. Do I need to stretch this? Do I need to stretch this out for you? Do you need some stretching? Let's see here. Okay, no, I needed to shrink it a little bit, bring it back this way. Pretty. We want to keep the eggs here, right? Because eggs. Okay, let us begin. All right. And okay, so there was one that I just saw that I was like, whoa, 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 that's wild. Okay, this is the one. All right, let's start. This is the one. Okay. So if you are not looking at the screen, I'm going to read it for you. Everyone needs to get into their heads that fat people are a marginalized group. Fat camps is conversion therapy. Fat camps is conversion therapy. The weight loss industry is directly responsibly for the deaths of fat people. We are not thin people under all this fat. Fat is not something that is done to you. That is weird. And then the whole fat camp is conversion therapy is so bizarre. When fat people or fat, actually not fat people, because not all fat people, okay? Not all created equal. When fat liberationists or fat acceptance people, folks, fat activists compare their struggle to the struggles of actual marginalized people, it is such a gigantic irk to me and is incomparable. You cannot compare being fat because you to being an actual marginalized group like people of color or people of the LGBTQIA plus community. because your struggles are not the same as theirs. It's never been illegal to be fat, and it's never been illegal for you as a fat person to marry a skinny person. It's never been it's never been illegal for you to be you. You may be being judged for being fat, but that's not the same as being schmurdered, schmurdered. You know, uh, we are not thin people under all this fat. Fat is not something that is done to you. That is correct. It's something that you do to yourself. Like you've created your own struggle, and I think that's why it's not comparable to that of a person of color or somebody in the queer community. Fat camps is conversion therapy, not the same. Fat camps is medical assistance, basically. The weight loss industry is directly responsibly for the deaths of fat people. That's bananas. That's strange, and that is a very odd uh you know, that is so beyond stupid, and I don't even really think I need to comment on that because you know that that's dumb as hell. However, I will comment on it. The weight loss industry is directly responsibly for the deaths of fat people. Is where where did you get where did you get that statement? Like, what's your source? Because it's almost like they're acting like if you lose weight, that's an automatic like death of a fat person. Do you know what I mean? It's like they look at numbers of obese, like they look at like they look at like numbers of people who've lost weight, and they're like, these everybody who's no longer obese, they're just dead. Which some of them actually believe that. So stupid. Okay, feet. We're not doing that. Damn, somebody was busy today. Okay, all right. Eat normally 3 to 4 meals. 3 to 4 meals. That is so much. 3 plates of spaghetti plus dessert per meal. Okay, so here's another word, like a caption. I'm not sure where this caption is being shared from. I have a feeling it's Tumblr, just because you could do hashtags with full sentences. From what I remember, that's what you can do on Tumblr, but I'm not 100% sure. It could also maybe be X. Who knows? All right, I'm reading it for y'all. You ready? As a woman in the Ozempic's era. Dude, is this the same person? Clearly, they even sound possibly that they have insulin resistance. Like their brain is just so sugarified that they've just turned to mush. All right. As a woman in the Ozempic's era, you have to have friends who eat normally 3 to 4 meals a day. That is not normal. That is excess. No girl dinner bullshit. And what do you mean girl dinner bullshit? Girl dinner is not to my logic, I feel like girl dinner is just something that's like ridiculous that a girl eats. It not doesn't necessarily mean like a tiny meal. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen some girls whose girl dinner is like a tortilla. That's not good. But my girl dinner is like the same thing that I've eaten, over and over again for like a week. It's like noodles, egg yolk, noodles and egg yolk. Mommy like that. Konjac noodles because mommy's a low carb baby. But okay, so no girl dinner bullshit. And who are always down to going to cafes and eating burgers and fries and stuff. I cannot stress how vital for your mental health it is to have friends with whom you feel free to say you're hungry at any time and with whom you feel free to eat as much as you want. Yo, I think I think so basically this is telling me is that she's looking for somebody to enable her. I'm assuming it's a her, right? Oh yeah, it says as a woman in the Ozempics area. She's looking for friends that are enablers. So if you're an enabler and you want a friend that you can go fringe with, she's looking for you. All right, let's read the hashtags. Hashtag you want 3 plates of spaghetti and then ask for dessert. Hell yes, eat as much as you want here. We just had dinner, but you're still hungry. No problem. We will make a new dish. I got you. Please don't enable your friends to get into fringe beating because it is muy dangerous. I was actually just talking to a friend about how I actually had a friend where we were huge and we would go fringe at Golden Corral, and I remember coming home to our apartment And my neighbor, my next door neighbor, was like, "Robin, are you pregnant?" Because I was so full, that full. And I would do that like quite a bit with this friend. And when we stopped being friends, for some reason, I just got like way healthier. It was weird. All right. Ooh, this is a 2026 like New Year's resolution kind of type. Okay. What a hooray. I mean, aspiring way to start 2026. Okay, so this person says, my 2026, oh wait, I shouldn't have stretched that out for y'all. My 2026 has no room for diets, fat phobia, body sizes as trends. That is a weird one, actually. I don't think body sizes should be trends. Exercise as punishment. I agree. Ignoring systemic oppression, cauliflower as a bread replacement. That's okay. The glamorization of mental illness. Yeah, you guys should definitely listen to that because I feel like so many in the fat activist realm have like an endless list of mental illnesses that they diagnose themselves. Just saying. Treating people in recovery like problems. What about you? Okay, so save this post to start off 2026 strong. New year, new me. That's the catch line, right? Catchphrase, ma'am or sir. Diet culture has ruined this phrase, making it all about sculpting your body. Instead of seeking external change, I encourage you to reflect on the things that you have power to leave behind. I made a list of mine above. You can tune out the negative noise. I cannot promise a world without problems, but I can recommend seeking out positivity wherever you can. I love cauliflower. God, every time I keep wanting to say cauliflower ear. I don't know. I love cauliflower, but it will not be replacing my beloved bread this upcoming year or the next one. Okay, first of all, you're clearly not in the diet realm because I feel like nobody has been using cauliflower bread or anything in a while. Like there's better low carb options. Like so that's weird. You're not you're doing it wrong. Nobody's using I mean, are you guys still using cauliflower for cauliflower bread? Are people still making cauliflower breads? I don't think so. I feel like yes for cauliflower like pizza crust, but I mean, you would have had a better maybe a better argument if you were like saying replacing your potatoes. That's better. Cauliflower doesn't make bread. It's not a good bread to begin with. All right, what if this January wasn't another January you started a new diet? Where could you channel that energy? What if you're tired learning a language? Oh, sorry, what if you tried? What if you're what if you're tried learning a language? What if you spent more time with others? What if you started that passion project? This could be the year you find fulfillment beyond your body. Listen, I'm okay with everybody wanting to get back on track with like their diet when it comes to like the new year. Do it. You should do it, especially if you've been eating like a jerk the last 6 months, right? I have no problem with people who always like go into wanting to lose weight at the beginning of the year because maybe this is the year that they actually like stick to it, right? You know, I always refresh at the beginning of the year because mommy's fat every year. Okay, do you want 2026 to be your year? Save this post. Oh, wait, I already posted that. Oh, shoot. I keep opening this. Sorry. Okay, this year is a time that many people promise to lock in on fitness goals. That's me. Mommy is locking in. Reflect on those words a moment. Lock in. They turn exercise into a trap. How can you have a healthy relationship with movement while treating it like a punishment? Because for movement, anytime that you are adding movement to your life, I feel like that is healthy, even if you're kind of like forcing yourself to do it. Whatever it takes. That's the motto for this year. Whatever it takes for you to get healthy. How can you have a healthy relationship with movement while treating it like a punishment? I don't believe in like treating it like a punishment, but if it uh if it takes you kind of being in that lock-in mentality and like no excuses, even if you have to be your own like drill sergeant kind of boot campy type of lady. Hello? Oh, I thought somebody was knocking at my door. Then or guy, then do it. Right? I don't think that there's anything problem with that, or I don't think there is a problem with that because your health is more important than whatever this is trying to be. Like you're being a little too soft for me. Too soft for mommy, okay? Oh, so it does have extra stuff. Okay, so even if you aren't seeking out diet culture content, there is a good chance you've already seen something that promotes losing weight in 2026. You can imagine how I feel about the surge of dieting as an eating disorder therapist Who has seen food restriction hurt countless people? I need to know who this person is. Good news, 2026 could be your year. The twist, you may find more happiness in turning out and tuning out the body talk, not joining in on the same old diet cycle. There is so many other things to get excited about this year. Damn. All right, right now is the season of getting intentions for 2026. A common topic that takes over is fitness goals. While I support incorporating healthy habits into your life in an attainable way, diet culture encourages extremities. Makes me think of like fingers. I feel like that is the. I feel like she meant extremes. Is extremities correct? Let me know in the comments. That doesn't feel like it's correct. I feel like extremities is like your arms, like extensions. Am I wrong? Am I stupid? I am. Okay, the idea of locking in a limited way of approaching movement. No exercise should feel like a prison sentence. The way your body looks doesn't have to dictate how you move it. What if you tried moving for just for the joy of it and not to be disciplined? That's actually not bad advice. I mean, I feel like you should if now I'm not trying to be like super soft like this. However, I feel like if you made movement enjoyable, like it doesn't feel like if you made movement, I guess fun or I guess as similar as brushing your teeth, like adjacent, like just something that you have to do every day because you're not a deplorable person. It doesn't feel as intense as like I'm locking in, or boot camp or something like that. Um, like I don't go to the gym and I don't really work out. However, I do plan on adding like calisthenics this year and I have been walking every day of the year. Wow, mommy's walking every day this year, 2026. It's the 3rd. But I do want to walk more and I feel like if I turn walking into something that feels like a necessity and uh, it becomes a habit and then it becomes almost like something that I crave. That's just me. I like it, right? So today we went on a lot of long walks and I loved it. I felt great. But let's move on. Okay, whoever has been posting, I feel like it's the same person, but they're just posting. I think they're all, on light mode on Instagram or whatever. Okay, question marks. This is that's literally fat phobia. The fact that we associate glutton with being fat is just plain fat phobic. I feel like glutton. Let's look at the definition of glutton. Glutton. Gluttony. Glutton. Okay, glutton is someone who habitually overeats or overindulges. Often seen as a vice or sin rooted in excessive desire for food or drink, but also extended to greed for anything like gossip or punishment. So the initial definition is somebody who eats a lot. Let's look at the etymology because mommy likes to do that. Okay, origin glutto, Latin glutto, Old French glutton. Can y'all see that? No, you can't. Barely. There we go. Glutton. Glutus or greedy. Gluteer, to swallow food. Glutus, greedy. Swallowing greedily. Gula, throat. You're using your throat to swallow greedily. You're eating a lot. You're eating too much. So there we go. Sorry that page is a little off. Okay. The fact that we draw fat people as only evil people is fat phobia. No, not all fat people are drawn as evil. That's weird. Do you not have a television? What? That's strange. It's fat phobia all the way, even though it's normalized among leftists to represent fat people this way. If no one else, then leftists should realize that stereotypes about certain types of people is oppression. It's not coincidence that the only times they represent fat people in art is when they need to represent an evil bad person. What the hell are we talking about? That's literally fat phobia. The fact that we associate glutton with being, oh my God. Maybe I need to see what they're talking about, but first of all, I think there's a lot of like fat people that aren't evil, that are fat characters that aren't considered evil, like Patrick Star, first of all. Fairy Mary from the Tinkerbell series. She's not evil. Who else? Mrs. Puff isn't evil. I'm thinking about cartoons. Who else is? What about a human cartoon that is fat and wasn't evil? Oh, Carl from As Told by Ginger. If you have any more cartoon characters that are humans drawn fat that aren't evil, put them in the comments below. The only person that I honestly can think of that is evil and fat off the top of my head is Ursula. So I don't know what this person is talking about. They're stupid. Okay. Why do so many people believe it's completely normal for everybody to be over 200 pounds? Okay, because sometimes people carry weight very differently. You could be 250, but you won't even look 250. It's all about height. That's actually a true statement, I believe. Because even when I was like 230, I don't think I looked 230, but I also didn't really know how fat I really was, right? Um, when I tell people that I weigh 180 pounds, they go, "What? You weigh 180 pounds?" And I feel like I look like I weigh more, but that could also be just like my own girly, brain. All right, y'all saying anything over 200 pounds is big must not be tall. This is 210 pounds, and then they blacked out a photo just to be nice. Yes, I love being 5'10. Me being 5'10 and 190, but luckily it spreads out evenly. And the 190 is perfect for 5'10. I don't think so. Let's look at the BMI chart. Pull up the my chart. Okay, BMI chart. Let's take a look here. Let's look at a BMI chart of, oops. Open video. Open. Mommy doesn't open image, a new tab. Okay, here we go. So somebody who is 5'10 at 190 pounds. Oops. 5'10, 190 pounds. They are right there. They're overweight. They're almost obese. They're one number away from being obese. So I know that the BMI chart is not, it has its flaws. Clearly, it is rooted in racism. Just kidding. It's not. It's not rooted in racism. However, they believe that. And I do believe that the BMI chart does have flaws. It's not the best for everybody. We don't know if this person looks majorly overly obese. They could have a lot of muscle. So we don't know. However, they're coping. So, all right, it's the 200 for me. 200 is normal for a lot of people. If you're a man or 6 foot plus. Okay, 150 was enough for me since I'm shorter. It's from a young age. They be like 5 and 120. Nobody cares until they're a grown adult. That's not even big at all. What the fuck? 300 pounds is already a lot to carry. How do you get to 600? Okay. Yeah, honestly, I've mentioned this in one of my, I think a couple episodes ago, but 300 pounds is a lot. 600 pounds, how do you get to 600 pounds? You stop caring, one, and also you stop weighing yourself. You get to like 300 pounds, you're like, you know what, I'm sick of this. It's gonna be a high every single time I jump on, so I'm just gonna stop weighing myself. Everything, I'm just gonna be fat. You give up, basically. And then getting to 600 has to take something, getting to the point where you're weighing yourself finally and you're like, holy shit, I weigh 600 pounds. It has to get to something. So something dire, important, or dangerous has happened to you, like um, a heart attack, or you've broken furniture. um, Something has made you weigh yourself. Going to the doctor, something like that has made you weigh yourself. And that's how you found, and that's how you found out that you got to 600 pounds. But basically, 300 pounds is a lot to carry. How do you get to 600? You give up and you just don't carry it anymore because you sit all day and lay in bed because you have enablers around you. Okay, if you plan on making a New Year's resolution to lose weight, remember that means you are making a resolution to avoid looking like any higher weight people in your life. You do you, but when conversations about New Year's resolutions come up, oops, there is no need to share yours. Okay. So New Year's resolutions belong to you, correct? So if you want to share them on your story, cool, do it. I want you to actually. I want you to share it on your wall on Instagram. I want you to create your annual New Year's resolution collage that you create every year that I haven't created in like a couple years, but I really need to do it because I want to. Um, that's for you, and I'm happy for you. Share it. Should you go up? Should you knock on your neighbor's doors and be like, "This is my New Year's resolution"? No, that's annoying. Um, your New Year's resolution does not affect me. Okay, so this person being like, you are making a resolution to stop looking like any higher weight people in your life. That's none of their business anyway. I mean, it's not. It shouldn't affect them. If they want to stay at a higher weight, that's good on them. What if we turn the tables and I'm like, oh, you don't want to lose weight this year, so you don't want to look like me? You don't want to be healthy like me? That's rude. We can always flip the table. I think that people's actions, or what people believe is making them a better person, it should not affect you. And if it does, that's your problem. So if you're getting, oops, sorry, if you're getting butt hurt because somebody decided to lose weight, that's a you problem. That's not their responsibility. They're not responsible for making you feel better. All right, I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions in general, but I know a lot of people make them, and sadly, resolutions that have something to do with weight loss are the most common. You absolutely have the right to make any resolution you want to make, and any resolution having to do with pursuing weight loss communicates to higher and any resolution having to do with pursuing weight loss, communicates to higher weight people that you are resolved to not look like them. That comma was misplaced, but okay. Make your resolution, but there's no need to cause harm by sharing it. If you want a resolution that you can share with people, think of one that won't cause harm and share one and keep the weight loss to yourself. Okay, so if you're unhappy with somebody sharing their weight loss journey, or somebody who believes that weight loss is healthy and that's bothering you, you're not compatible as people who follow each other, or you're not compatible as friends, unfollow and block. That's it. You're not compatible. Don't be their friend anymore, or block them. But honestly, look within. You are literally creating even more of like an echo chamber to surround yourself, to enable yourself to stay in an unhealthy body size. Like, that's banana bonkers. That's kind of like, if you're like, if a drug addict and you're like, if your New Year's resolution is to get clean this year, don't share that to me don't share that on your wall, because you might really be hurting your friends who want to stay junkies this year. And that's fucked up. Like, that's stupid. And that's exactly what this person sounds like. Because clearly you're addicted to food. Okay, every so often. Okay, finally, somebody that has a little bit of creativity. Every so often, an intersectional. Whoa, mommy doesn't know how to read. Every so often, an intersectional feminism page I follow on Facebook posts about fat issues. Cue the predictable comments agreeing BMI is bullshit. I'm sure they will be delighted to learn that there are better options for gauging how fat someone is. So, yes, I agree. So, the BMI can be bullshit sometimes. However, there are better ways to look at somebody. If the B, I mean, it's a great way to start to look at someone's BMI. If your BMI is saying that you're overweight, and I'm looking at you, and it looks like you are overweight, and I can tell that you don't have a lot of muscle, and you tell me that you eat a lot of food, you are overweight. You are fat. We already know that. BMI was created by an astronomer, not a medical professional. Was meant to measure the average body size of entire populations. Was created using white men of Western European descent as its standard. Does not account for various shapes and sizes of people. It's an utterly measure of someone else's. Oh, it's a complete and utterly bullshit measure of someone else's health. Oh, and then they got. I can't read that. Somebody got into an argument. I hate that. Cut it. Cut it. I can't zoom into that. Ugh, rude. I really wanted to hear the conversation. But anyway, yeah, I mean, we can agree. The BMI is flawed in some ways, but I think it's a great way, it's a great first step, you know. And then if you're like, the BMI is bullshit and you can't get off your couch, you're bullshit. You are fat. Okay. Okay, daddies, mommies. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let me get my planner. I'm going to pencil in my eating disorder really quick. Intermittent fasting. Oh, babes, you mean schedule panorexia? Um, That's so stupid. You intermittent, do you eat breakfast? Do you go to bed? That's intermittent fasting, basically. I mean, I know it's not like as long as some of the intermittent fasting schedules, but you fast, we all fast intermittently if you're not constantly eating every 3 hours or whatever. Um, so stupid. As somebody who loves to fast, and I even love like extended fasts, when people talk smack about my fasting and intermittent fasting and call people who practice intermittent fasting people with eating disorders, it pisses me off because the people who actually have eating disorders wouldn't, I don't know. I get really heated about that because not everything is an eating disorder. Not everything around food or having structure around food means that you have a fucking eating disorder. Grow up. Okay, and the metaphor isn't even good. Okay, ash is to ash what dust is to dust. Why is that? Why am I getting notifications on my phone? Hold on. There we go. Okay, ashes to ash, what dust is to dust. Okay, a spark is to ember, what I'm trying to lose weight to feel good about how I look is to I'm planning out my life to try not to look like you. Oh my god, I feel like this person really loved the analogy workbooks that we had to do when we were like fourth grade. I did. And they're really trying hard. And a knife is to a blade. What I'm concerned about the obesity epidemic is to I wish I could solve the problem of your body, is to I see your body as disease because it's not like mine. These aren't good. These are bad analogies. The injury to a wound is what I'm so bad for skipping the gym, is to I'm being so good for ordering a salad, is to health is a moral obligation, is to you're failing if you have a disability. I hate this. It's stupid. A ghost is to phantom. Are they not the same? I'm so confused. Well, I guess I mean, they're all close. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, okay. I forgot for a second. I forgot how analogies work. Okay, processed foods are so bad for you is to you should feel guilty for eating what you can afford. Madam, it is so much more expensive to get a meal at McDonald's than it is to get frozen vegetables and like a protein. Unless you're getting fucking ribeye steaks. Like you can get 5 pounds of broccoli for like $7 at the most, frozen, and then get chicken thighs for another, like with the skin and bone, for like another $10. If you and you're spending that much, that's like what, $17 for one meal at McDonald's. So excuse me, what? Como say what? Because 5 pounds of broccoli and like 6 pounds of chicken thighs will feed you for like 4 days. Now, does that mean that you have to eat the same thing every day? You don't necessarily, but if that's all you could afford, I mean, do you have a choice? Especially if you're 600 pounds, you're in danger. And you need to eat the broccoli and chicken right now and stop eating McDonald's. It's too expensive. These people. These people. Okay, let's go into detail about most of them. Okay, a spark is to an ember as to sorry, a spark is to an ember. What I'm trying to lose weight to feel good about how I look is to hold on. Sally is to I'm planning out my life to try not to look like you. Um, no, I feel like those are two very different things because there are people in the spectrum of sorry, there are people in like the realm of weight loss journeys that are like, I really don't want to look like a fat person. I need to lose the weight. Case look up HRH. We love her. She's a queen, but she is definitely one of those people who is like, I don't want to be a fat bitch, right? And then there's people who actually need to lose weight to be healthy. And then um that want to feel good about themselves versus comparing themselves to others. Like there are people who don't don't necessarily look at other people and go, ew, I don't want to look like that. They look at themselves first and go, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to look like this anymore. They're not comparing themselves to others, right? Okay, a knife is to a blade. What I'm concerned about the obesity epidemic is to I wish I could solve the problem of your body, is to I see your body as diseased because it's not like mine. I'm concerned about the obesity epidemic. I wish I could solve the problem of your body. Um, Again, it's a reach. I feel like this entire post is just a reach. It's just a reach, and it's somebody who's writing in their diary and thinking that they're philosophical with this post, and I think it's stupid. Okay, 450 pounds at 16 years old is absolutely ridiculous. Correct. And it is child abuse. That is still a child. What is you doing, mommy? Is this a latchkey child? Then you need to make sure somebody's home. Send them to an after school program. Get them into a sport. Okay, genetics. Oh my God. And then somebody else says, no, it's neglect. That. It is neglect. If your kid is over 400 pounds, how many pounds is this? 450 pounds. If your kid is if your kid is at 16 is over 200 pounds, like you need to talk to them. If they're not 6 feet tall and they're over 200 pounds, you need to be like, hey, everything okay? Everything going on okay in school? And then change up what you're cooking. Because if you are cooking meals and they're still huge, something's wrong. Maybe something wrong hormonally because I know that hormones can affect your weight, um, especially if your kid is sedentary, which most kids are. Maybe take away Fortnite for a little bit. Maybe go on a walk with your kid. Maybe get to know your kid some more. I feel like parents don't know their kids anymore. Maybe talk to your kid. Why are they fat? Why are you fat? Okay, some people are born with thyroid problems. Okay, honestly, yes, I have Hashimoto's and I've been hyperthyroid like forever. However, I still lost the weight. I'm still on a weight loss journey. It is difficult. It's not impossible. And this is somebody with Hashimoto's and PCOS, insulin resistant PCOS, and I was able to lose weight with insulin resistance. So, it's about what you're feeding your body and your lifestyle. So like if you're sedentary, I'm sedentary AF and I'm trying to fix that, okay? But diet is the number one. Jesus is the number one, but diet is the number one first. I'm JK. I'm not super religious. Okay. Some people born with thyroid problems. Some people born with thyroid. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. Yeah. So it's not impossible. If your kid is 450 pounds, that is not a thyroid. That is too many carbs and calories. It's really not. Big people exist. I'm 400 pounds at 17, and my parents are the best I could ask for. Being big shouldn't be seen as inherently bad. Oh my God, no. If you're 400 pounds and you're 17 years old, even if maybe your parents are too good and they're just giving you everything that you want to eat, like it's not healthy. It really isn't, you guys. Terrible. Terrible and sad. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, it's stuff like this. So I think I have the same struggle. I haven't read it yet, so let's see. It's stuff like this that makes people not want to ID as progressive. Okay, so the more educated you get on fat issues, the more you realize that almost everything that supposedly justifies fat phobia is actually complete bullshit. Most of the health conditions that are treated as almost divine punishment for being fat, like heart issues and diabetes, are being revealed to actually cause weight gain instead of being caused by it. Disagree because excess adipose tissue causes hormonal malfunctions and can lead to diabetes. Okay, this goes for social consequences of being fat too. It's that neckbeard redditor actually fat. Is that neckbeard redditor actually fat because he spends all his time online, or is it that he spends all of his time online because he's not treated like a person? If you can see that he's fat, so the internet is his best option. No, he's literally a neckbeard and fat because he's on the computer all day. There are That's sad. I know it's hard making friends. Like, I'm 35 years old. It's super difficult to make friends IRL. That's why we went to chess this morning. We were trying to see if anybody wanted to challenge us, but nobody did. Everything is less accessible to fat people. Seats on buses, at restaurants, and even at things like amusement parks are frequently too small to comfortably sit in for a fat person. That doesn't mean that you're being discriminated against. It means that you've outgrown your fishbowl. You've gotten too fat for the world. You can't expect that everybody's going to be like, Oh, I've had this business for 40 years and I've noticed that most everybody is getting fat. So let me just spend money to buy more fat chairs. No, that's not the case. Sorry. Nope, nope. People treat you worse if you're fat or even try to avoid you entirely. That's a true. That is a true. People do treat fat people badly in public, and I don't agree with that. I don't think that you should treat people. I think that everybody deserves respect in real life. I mean, clearly, I'm judging people online, but I'm not gonna be like how I am. I'm not gonna be like judging somebody the way I'm judging this person, whoever wrote this, like a random fat person in public, because I don't know if they're fat activists. I only don't like fat activists. Does that make sense? I don't think every fat person is a fat activist. Maybe they're on a weight loss journey. You don't know, but I'm not gonna treat people. First of all, don't treat people with shit. Like no. Ugh, don't treat people like shit off the cuff. In public. Everything is less accessible to fat peoples. Oh wait, I already read that. Sorry. You get judged for doing leisure activities or even exercising at a public gym. I've never I've never seen people be judged at a gym. Me personally, I know it does happen and they're assholes for doing that. But most of the time, most of the people who do go to the gym regularly and they see somebody who's like struggling or is fat and they're at the gym, it's mostly an applause internally in their head. Oh my God, good for them, right? Which proves the claims of trying to motivate you to get fit are bullshit, by the way. Hmm, you're rude. Getting filmed and laughed at, posted online for your body to be a punchline. Okay, that does happen, but I don't think that's the majority. I feel like the majority is people really honestly like rooting these people on. Okay, if you want to be progressive or body positive, you need to be examining your beliefs. Oppressed people are routinely forced into positions that from the outside may justify the narrative about these people. Black folk are See, and then they bring in like another like group. It's like they're putting their hands into every single popcorn bag. I don't know why I said popcorn bag, but they just want to be they want their hand in every single pot so that they can be relevant, so that they can be seen as this other marginalized group, so that they're not relying solely on their body size. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm having like a low blood sugar moment or something. Okay, black folk are pushed into poverty. Nope, black folk are pushed into poverty, so that crime is often their only means of survival. What the hell? I feel like that is. I didn't realize what I was reading until it completely came out. That is such a. I mean, is it a true statement? Listen, I'm not. I'm not an economics major. Is economics the right word? I'm not. That just seems like an outrageous statement. It seems like an overgeneralization. Okay, black folk are pushed into poverty so that crime is often their only means of survival, enforcing the idea that black folk are criminals. That just seems like that seems crazy overgeneralized. Like if you're a person of color and you read that, like wouldn't you be like that's weird? I don't know. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I ignorant? Let me know in the comments. Queer folk are made unsafe in public so that we use codes to identify each other. Enforcing the idea that queer folk are trying to secretly seduce people to be gay. What the hell is this person on? Is this happening and I'm just like blind to it? Okay, queer folk are made unsafe in public so that we use codes to identify each other, enforcing the idea that queer folk are trying to secretly seduce people to be gay. And yes, fat folk are forced indoors and online so that they can enforce the narrative that we are lazy shut ins. I feel like this post has drained my brain of like my brain feels like gas right now. That's odd behavior. That is weird. All right, one more and then I gotta call it a quits because I actually am getting like a headache. I think I need to eat something. Speaking of fat logic, I feel like I need to eat something. Okay, what is wrong with the term midsize? What are people supposed to call themselves? They get mad. First of all, you're supposed to call yourself a small fat. They get mad when people who they don't consider fat enough call themselves fat, and now they get mad when that is so true. When like there are moments that I've seen in the fat acceptance community where people are like, "You're not fat." And are like a midsize or like a small fat person. Like they are technically fat, but people don't think that they're fat enough. So it's stupid. Like there's a hierarchy of fatness. Okay, they get mad when people who they don't consider fat enough call themselves fat, and now they get mad when they call themselves something else. So true. Who's making all these rules anyway? Stupid people. The introduction of the term midsize into the cultural lexicon makes me want to blow my brains out. It's literally almost exclusively girls who are a size 6. No, it's not. No, it isn't. Using it to distance themselves from the privileges of being conventionally thin. Are you blind? Do you think a size 6 is even remotely close to midsize? What is midsize to you guys? I feel like it's 10 to 14 or 10 to 16, right? A 6 is like I've never been a 6 in my life. I've been mid-sized mostly the last like 4 years. A 6 to me, well, I have been a 6, but that was when I was in my skinny days. Pandysrexia, right? Okay. It literally is almost exclusively girls who are size 6. Yeah, that is banana bonkers. I've never seen a person who is a size 6. Like that is like the most I feel like a size like if we're thinking about sizes, like what's the ideal size? I feel like a size 6 is like pretty average, like pretty I mean, maybe not American average, but that's like a pretty straight and boilerplate healthy size, right? Am I alone in that? But, who am I to make judgment because I'm still fat. But anyway, how did you like the episode? I hope you liked it. I hope this was enough for you to sustain while it's the weekend. And I do plan on posting this week clearly because listen, we're here, we're in this for the long run. We're in this for each other first of all. We are a family. And yes, if you liked this, please leave a comment below. Leave me an emoji. Leave me what are we going to emoji? What are we going to emoji about, you guys? Leave me an emoji that you think of me. What- Does that make sense? Yeah, I need to eat something. Leave an emoji that reminds you of me, Sunny Side Up Gal. And if you made it this far to the episode and you're not subscribed, oh my god, please subscribe. And and please go and check out my other videos because I think that you will like them. Again, everybody, have a great weekend. Be good. Most importantly, be good. Goodbye.
We are a family, like a giant tree, branching out towards the sky. We are a family, we are so much more than just you and I.